So when I first got into lockpicking, I did what a lot of people do just getting into lockpicking. I went out looking for tools that could help me learn and so forth. So one of the first things I went out and did was I went to Sparrows and I picked up one of their revolvers, as well as the security repinning kit, their alternate cores that they have available, as well as their rekeying kit that has the trays. Those that kind of I use the heck out of this revolver, so I got plenty of use out of it. They also have these training tools for example, being able to learn how to pick spools, and another one for learning how to pick serrateds. I also picked up this kit here for essentially learning how to pin and key for master keys or master keying, which was interesting. But I had never purchased any picks from Sparrows until doing this review. So Sparrows, they're some of the most widely used and widely known picks out there from everyone I've talked with and interviewed in my time in lockpicking. Sparrows seems like a go-to brand that fits most people's needs. While not my choice of pick or manufacturer, it's not because I consider them poor quality at all, far from it. They're decent in quality and profile choices and are well made for the most part and inexpensive comparatively speaking. Not only that, but they offer pick profiles not as widely seen or available with other manufacturers. So with that in mind, I mainly focused on purchasing Sparrow's Monstrum picks, which had some very unique profiles, such as the Lunatic and larger or thicker handles. And then I filled it in with some other picks to round out this as a set, with some non-Monstrum picks, such as a short hook and so forth. So they're fairly well made. I would imagine for most people they feel okay in their hands. These are a bit small for my hands, but the pick handles feel pretty much the same as you would expect to get from shrink wrap tubing. What I didn't like about these picks, as far as when they provide the handles with them, is that the pick handle comes too far up the shaft. So since it's too far down the shaft, if you have deeper locks, for example, something with more pins, or like a European cylinder, you may find yourself needing to trim down the handle off the shaft so that your handles do not come up against the keyway when you're at the back of the lock. Other than that, so I had also filled out this set with some tent torque wrenches and the SS Dev kit or set, and some other picks and tools that I had purchased for this just to put this together. Other than that, Sparrows is a brand that I can recommend, especially for new pickers. For me, they just were not as comfortable as what I was used to with my mainstream picks. On a broader note, though, Sparrows has a very wide selection of picks, tension wrenches, and other tools worth checking out and considering. They also sell a number of training tools like the ones I showed you, and they're all of their tools are pretty fairly priced. They do sell pick cases at a reasonable price as well, and they're worth checking out. This case probably cost me just under $11 and is a pretty nice case. So bottom line is, it's hard to go wrong with Sparrows overall for most of your needs, and you can definitely grow with them over time, and most people do. A lot of people do. When I started putting together this review, I had only heard about Dangerfield picks and pick sets in the forums, so I decided to pick up the Praxis set to use in this review at $70 plus shipping. I had purchased other Dangerfield products before, such as some of their torque wrenches, which they have a pretty large set of torque wrenches, which I have enjoyed having in my arsenal or my tool set. But to be honest, I was quite disappointed in this set when I got it. It felt cheap, and for the price, they could have provided some form of handles, because these are just very thin and very, difficult to work with, and for my hands anyway. While you can certainly put your own handles on them, overall they still felt flimsy to me. They look like they're knockoff picks from some other manufacturer, although I cannot exactly place what they're a knockoff of. For me, they were uncomfortable. They felt too thin for my hands, which made them more difficult to hold while picking and uncomfortable to use. This particular set has a total of 16 picks in it, and not much of it has any fluff in it, which was a bonus, but as fluff picks you most likely will never use, having profiles that are useful is a bonus, so I will give it that. If you can get past the feel of the picks in your hand with or without putting your own handles on them, then perhaps maybe you might enjoy this set, but I seriously doubt that. The case provided with the Praxis set seemed kind of cheap to me, in that it reminded me of the type of cases you get with cheap Chinese lockpick sets. And at that price, in my opinion, they could have stepped it up a notch and provided a nicer case with this set for that price. The Praxis set comes with a total of 2 torque wrenches, and 2 regular wiper blade insert style Bach wrenches, and 1 Bach wrench that actually is useful in this set, right here, which is nice to have in any tool arsenal. So that was nice. Again, it isn't difficult to make your own Bach wrenches out of wiper blade inserts for free, so I did not consider those as part of any value in this set. Of the 2 torque wrenches, they could have also included a 3rd torque wrench to round the set out better, and it might have made this set a little more useful. Overall, I was not impressed with this set for the price or the quality, and I can't recommend it to anyone when there are so many better sets out there for this price point.